What's up, everyone, and welcome to Shadow Speaking Log. Today's episode, I will work on the first half of the paragraph. This is um, actually a part of the Shadow Speaking series. In the last episode, I've showed you how to do a shadow speaking practice and why it is important. Basically, just a introduction. So today's episode, let's work on the real deal. Again, let me tell you the source. Remind you where I find this paragraph. This is this conversation. This paragraph. This excerpt is taken from the Joe Rogan Experience, the podcast, Joe Rogan with Faraz Zahabi. So I'll put the link in the description box so that you can refer to the original video or original clip. So as you can see in the screen, by the way, if you are listening to the podcast or listening to the audio version, there is a video version, and if you want to know what I'm referring to, please check out the video version because what I'm showing right now is a paragraph with some notes on it. So today I will work on starting from, let's say, there's something all the way to 10. The maximum amount pull up is 10. So we'll work on the first half. So let's begin. First of all, I have break down the whole thing into small chunks based on where or when he paused. So the first sentence would be let's say. Let's say, nothing special here. The point is that we will not pronounce the word separately. For example, let's say. We don't do that. We blend it together. Let's say. The S from the word let and the S from the word say are put together, bring together, blend together. Let's say. Let is the tone. The tone is a bit higher than the word say. Let's say. And that's it for the first one. So the second sentence would be from there's something called all the way to perceived exertion. The key word here is rate of perceived exertion. Anything other than that will be, or I should say, we only stress the keywords, which is rate of perceived exertion. For the other words, we can just say it in a softer manner. The sound will be a little bit softer. So the first word there. So before I do that, let's pronounce the word one by one. There's something called rate of perceived exertion. There's something called rate of perceived exertion. Now, the key of fluency is that we identify the keywords and then we do the linking sound. Of course, you need to add work on the tonality as well to make it not sound like a robot and monotone. So here we work on fluency. First word, there's. You can see I mark a bracket. Bracket on this word is that in the original video the word is very subtle, very subtle. The is more like the word the. There's something called the something, and the word something here is also it's not a keyword, so soft sound. There's something, and the s from the word there and the s from the word something are blended together. There's something, there's something. Next word, cold, cold, cold. Don't forget the ed sound. And if I can still remember when I play the video in a very slow speed, I can still hear the ed sound, the d, cold, cold, cold. Although it's very subtle, but I can still hear the ed. There's something called there's something called Now, moving on to the keyword rate of. We don't pronounce the T from the word rate. The rate, we ignore the T. Rate, rate. And the next one, of, not of, but of. Rate of perceived. Now, the ed here in this word, suppose we need to pronounce the T sound, perceived. But when we speak fast, we will ignore the T sound. So rate of perceived. But you still need to, as if you need to make the T sound, but because the speed is too, because you speak too very fast, you don't have time to make the T sound, but you have the intention to make the T sound. Rate of perceived exertion. Now the R, don't forget the R. However, if you're working on other accent, you don't need to make the R. Rate of perceived exertion. Rate of perceived exertion. Rate of perceived exertion. So, starting from the beginning, it will be let's say there's something called rates of perceived exertion. Now, of course, I still cannot catch up the speed, but I think in the near future I will improve. So because this is just a study log, I don't mind. This is part of the learning progress, learning journey. Let's say there's something called rate of perceived exertion. Let's say there's something called something called rate of perceived exertion. Okay. So the okay, we unstress the first syllable, which is O. Okay. So let's say same word. I make you do pull-ups. So we have a linking sound, make and you. The K will blend will the K sound. The U, we add a K. The K is from the word make. Make you. I make you do pull-ups. So here we also have another linking sound, pull-ups. The first one, the first linking sound in this sentence would be make you. Second one, pull-ups. I make you do pull-ups. So let's say I make you do. I gotta slow down a little bit. So let's say I make you do pull-ups, and let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups. Now here, this is a little bit tricky here. We have, because the stress sound is not maximum, but just the max. just the maximum amount of pull-ups. So you just need to elevate your volume for the word max only. Let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups you can do. So see, let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups. Now the word after the max will be unstressed. So the maximum amount. The word amount, the first syllable if I still remember when I play the video, I can barely hear the first syllable, the amount, the sound. The maximum amount, I can still the sound is much like maximum amount of pull-ups. Okay. So let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups. Okay. So let's say I make you do pull-ups, and let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups you can do. The maximum amount of pull-up is 10. Now the second time of the second sentence, the maximum amount of pull-ups, I cross the S because I cannot hear the S. The letter S. Okay. The maximum amount of pull-up is 10. Now 10 is stressed because it is the keyword here. So now let's bring everything together, and that's to show you the progress I'm at right now. Let's say, okay, here we go. Let's say there's something called rate of perceived exertion. Okay, so let's say the maximum amount of pull-ups you can do. The maximum amount of pull-ups is 10. That's it for the first shadow speaking study log, practice log. This is Jackson, and I'll see you in the next one. Out.